This is Britain in 2015. It's the 6th biggest economy on the face of the earth. The wealth of the richest 1,000 people has doubled in the last 5 years during one of the greatest economic traumas in the history of this nation. And last year, nearly 1 million of our fellow citizens were driven into the arms of food banks. 300,000 of them children. One of the richest countries that has ever existed on the face of the earth, and apparently we can no longer afford to feed our poorest people. There is no greater indictment of our current society than that. But we can change it. The reason we've got exploding food banks, there's a number of reasons. Firstly, there's in-work poverty. We live in a country where most people in poverty are in work. They get up in the morning and they earn their poverty day after day. And if they're not dependent on food banks, they're dependent on in-work benefits, which cost huge amounts of money, or personal debt, legal loan sharks and so on, in order to feed their kids, to pay the rent and so on and so forth. So we've got to have, no ifs, no buts, every single person in work in this country must have a living wage. It's as simple as that. The second point is the attack on social security. One of the main reasons for the proliferation of food banks, one of them is delays in benefits, all too often intentional in order to deter people from claiming in the first place. Around £20 billion worth of benefits that people are eligible for go unclaimed each year. Compare that to the 1.2 billion that is lost through benefit fraud. Benefit evasion is effectively a bigger problem than benefit fraud. But this is the problem. Lots of people, they face these huge delays, they lose their job, they can't claim anything, they have absolutely nothing whatsoever. We've got to end those delays once and for all, and they're entirely political. But of course, another point is benefit sanction. For those who don't know what that means, I'm sure many of you do, it means your benefits are stopped, suspended, for between 4 weeks and 2 years, where regardless of circumstances, you cannot claim a single penny in social security. Now, I want to give you an example, because in the last 18 months, I can bandy around statistics, over 1 million unemployed people have had their benefits sanctioned. I want to give you an example. A 60-year-old man called Stephen Taylor, and this man was an army veteran in Manchester, desperately looking for work. And many of you will know better than myself, if you're out of work at the age of 60, it's so hard to find work, but he was trying so hard. And he was selling poppies for the Royal Legion, for maimed and injured former comrades of his, including in a supermarket where he was desperately and unsuccessfully looking for work. He had his benefits stopped, sanctioned for 4 weeks, this 6-year-old army veteran, on the basis his volunteering for the Royal Legion showed he wasn't trying hard enough to look for work. That's where we've come to as a country. Job centres are encouraged to compete with each other over how many people they can sanction in order to dissuade people from claiming benefits in the first place, in order to reduce the official unemployment count. That regime of sanctioning has to end. It is eroding the very basis of social security in this country, and it is driving people into hunger. So we've got to, and finally, the stripping away of benefits from people, disabled people, for example, and others eligible, the freezing of in-work benefits, which in practice means a cut as wages are falling. So we've got to defend social security, we've got to have a living wage, and we've got to end the sanctioning of people for political purposes, and then we will end once and for all the scandal of hunger, because in this booming, prosperous nation, which is what we have, not one single person should be living in hunger, and we can't rest until we stop that from ever happening in this country ever again.
Yeah.